What if I told you that in the space of your balcony, that rectangle of 1 or 2 meters you use to dry laundry or set a chair, you could grow food that 99% of people have never seen grow? I'm not talking about tomatoes. I'm not talking about basil. I'm not talking about anything everyone already knows. I'm talking about crops that most people don't even know exist, that grow perfectly in containers, that produce food with extraordinary nutritional value, and that you can start growing today with a pot, some potting soil, and a few seeds. While the supermarket sells you the same 30 vegetables over and over again, produced industrially, transported thousands of miles, with days or weeks of shelf life already lost, your balcony can become a source of fresh, exotic, and nutritionally superior food that no supermarket in your city carries. And the best part, most of these crops are ridiculously easy to maintain. Today, I'm going to show you 20 little-known crops you can start growing today on your balcony. Stay until the end, because number 11 is a weed that everyone rips out of their garden. But science has confirmed it as the richest terrestrial source of omega-3 fatty acids on the planet. And number 19 produces one of the most expensive fruits in the world and grows perfectly in a 5-gallon pot. Subscribe to Ancient Harvest, because every week we show you how to grow your own food using the simplest methods that exist. Here are the 20 crops you can start today. Number 1. Shiso, the Japanese herb that transforms any dish. Perilla frutescens. This herb from the mint family has a flavor that's impossible to describe. A blend of mint, basil, anise, and citrus, all at once. It's one of the most prized ingredients in Japanese and Korean cuisine, where it accompanies sushi, soups, salads, and pickled dishes. It grows perfectly in 6-inch pots, partial to full sun, consistent watering without waterlogging. Green leaf and purple leaf are different varieties with slightly different flavor profiles. It grows 1 to 3 feet tall, but stays compact if you pinch the growing tips regularly. It's extraordinarily rich in antioxidants, particularly rosmarinic acid, with anti-inflammatory properties documented in studies published on PubMed. Pinch the stems and the leaves multiply. The most sophisticated flavor in Asian cuisine grows on a balcony without complaint. Number 2. Mizuna, the Asian green that grows in any season. Brassica rapa var. Niposinica. Mizuna is one of the fastest-growing vegetables on the planet. 4 to 6 weeks from seed to harvest. It tolerates cold, tolerates moderate heat, tolerates partial shade. It grows in shallow containers. The leaves have a mild, slightly peppery flavor with a delicate texture that transforms salads. It's a cruciferous vegetable, which means it contains glucosinolates, the same chemoprotective compounds found in broccoli. Sow successions every 2 weeks in the same pot. Cut the outer leaves, and the inner ones keep growing. Perpetual harvest from a crop that most of the Western world doesn't even know exists. Number 3. Tatsoi, the spoon-shaped green that grows flat to the ground. Brassica rapa sub sp. Narinosa. Tatsoi forms beautiful rosettes of dark, glossy, spoon-shaped leaves. It grows extraordinarily well in shallow containers. It tolerates cold temperatures better than almost any leafy green. Its flavor is mild, creamy, slightly similar to spinach, but with more character. 4 to 6 weeks from seed to harvest. Rich in vitamin C, vitamin A, calcium, and iron. It's the most photogenic vegetable on your balcony. The perfect rosettes it forms are so beautiful they could be ornamental plants. But you eat them. Number 4. Stevia, the living sweetener on your balcony. Stevia rebaudiana. Why buy processed stevia sweetener when you can grow the plant and pluck a fresh leaf? A single fresh stevia leaf in your tea or coffee sweetens without calories, without industrial processing, without additives. 12-inch wide pot, full to partial sun. Moist but well-drained soil. It doesn't tolerate frost, so in cold climates, bring the pot indoors for winter. Fresh stevia has a cleaner, more complex flavor than the processed powder. It's the plant that replaces sugar directly from your balcony. Number 5. Malabar spinach. The tropical climber that isn't spinach at all. Bacella alba. This isn't spinach. It's a tropical vine with thick, glossy leaves that taste similar to spinach but with a more succulent texture. And here's what's extraordinary. It grows vertically. Give it a trellis on your balcony, a string, a stick, and it climbs up to 6 to 10 feet, producing edible leaves continuously throughout the warm season. It's more heat-tolerant than true spinach, which bolts and turns bitter in the heat. Malabar spinach doesn't. The hotter it gets, the more it produces. Rich in vitamin A, vitamin C, iron, and calcium. Natural mucilage that gives it thickening properties in soups, similar to okra. The perfect plant for balconies that get plenty of sun and heat. Number 6. Turmeric. The golden root that grows in a wide pot. Curcuma longa. Yes, you can grow turmeric on your balcony. You need a wide, deep pot, 12 to 16 inches, because the rhizomes grow horizontally. Buy a fresh, organic rhizome with visible buds. Plant it horizontally, 2 inches below the surface. Partial sun, 4 to 6 hours. Turmeric is a tropical understory plant. It doesn't want furious direct sun. Moist, well-drained soil. In 8 to 10 months, when the leaves wilt, dig and harvest fresh turmeric rhizomes. Fresh turmeric is incomparably more potent than the powder. The curcumin is more bioavailable. The aroma is more intense. The flavor is more complex. The most expensive spice in your supermarket can grow on your balcony for the cost of 1 rhizome. Stop for a moment and think about this. You've just learned about 6 crops that most people don't know can be grown at home. Japanese shiso, Asian mizuna and tatsoi, living stevia, climbing Malabar spinach, fresh turmeric. Each of them grows in containers, doesn't need a garden, doesn't need prior farming experience. Hit that like button right now. Every like helps more people discover that a balcony can produce more exotic food than any supermarket. And if you haven't subscribed yet, click subscribe to Ancient Harvest and turn on the bell. Every week we show you crops that transform small spaces into sources of real food. Now comes the truly extraordinary part, including the most nutritious weed on the planet. Number 7. Ginger. Turmeric's cousin that grows just as easily. Zingiber officinale. If you can grow turmeric, you can grow ginger. The method is identical. Fresh, organic rhizome with visible buds. Wide pot, 12 to 16 inches. Partial sun. Moist, well-drained soil. Ginger takes 8 to 10 months to mature fully, but you can harvest baby ginger after 4 months with a milder, more delicate flavor. Fresh ginger from your balcony versus dried ginger from the supermarket. The difference in flavor, potency, and freshness is abysmal. Number 8. Kohlrabi. The vegetable UFO that tastes like apple and broccoli had a baby. Brassica oleracea var. Gongilodes. Kohlrabi looks like a vegetable Sputnik. A bulbous sphere that grows above ground, with leaves shooting out in all directions. And the flavor, when you bite into it raw, it tastes like apple, jicama, and tender broccoli. Crisp, sweet, refreshing. It grows in 8-inch deep pots. Full sun. 6 to 8 weeks from seed to harvest. Purple varieties are more colorful and slightly sweeter. The most underestimated vegetable in Europe grows on any balcony with surprising speed. Number 9. ashwagandha, the adaptogenic medicine that grows like a weed. Withania somnifera. Ashwagandha, the most revered herb in Ayurvedic medicine, grows like a weed in hot, dry conditions. Deep pot, 10 to 12 inches. Full sun, 6 hours or more. Sandy, well-draining soil. It's drought-tolerant, so don't drown it. The root is the most valuable part, the one containing withanolides with adaptogenic properties documented in clinical studies published on PubMed. Harvest after 6 to 8 months. Dry it, grind it, add it to your nighttime golden milk. The supplement that costs you $20 at the health food store grows in a pot on your balcony. Number 10. Tomatillo. The Mexican cousin of the tomato that nobody grows at home. Physalis philadelphica. The tomatillo is the base of Mexican green salsa. It grows inside a papery husk, like a little wrapped gift, and it's extraordinarily easy to grow in pots. You need 2 plants for cross-pollination, 5-gallon containers, full sun, trellis or tomato cage for support. It produces prolifically throughout the warm season. When the husk dries and splits open on its own, the tomatillo is ready. Fresh green salsa made from tomatillos grown on your balcony. No restaurant can offer you that. Number 11. Purslane. The weed with more omega-3 than any other land plant on Earth. Portulaca oleracea. And here we are at the hidden gem of this list. Purslane is considered a weed in most gardens around the world. People rip it out, spray it with herbicides, throw it away. But science has identified it as the richest terrestrial source of alpha-linolenic acid, the plant-based omega-3. It's one of the few land plants that also contains trace amounts of EPA, eicosapentaenoic acid, the omega-3 typically found only in marine sources. It's extraordinarily rich in vitamin C, vitamin E, beta-carotene, glutathione, potassium, magnesium, calcium, and iron. Its flavor is crunchy, slightly tangy, with a citrusy edge. You eat it raw in salads, sautéed, or in soups, where it acts as a natural thickener. It grows in any pot with sun. It's drought-resistant because it's a succulent. It practically needs zero care. The most hated weed in the world is also one of the most nutritious foods on the planet. Stop pulling it out. Start eating it. Number 12. Leaf amaranth. The forgotten vegetable of the Aztecs, amaranthus. While everyone knows amaranth grain, the leaves are equally edible and extraordinarily nutritious. More protein, iron, and calcium than spinach. They grow in 8-inch pots. Full sun. They grow rapidly, 4 to 6 weeks before you can start harvesting leaves. Cut the top leaves and the plant branches out, producing more. In Mexico, India, and Africa, amaranth leaves are consumed as a staple green. In the rest of the world, people buy amaranth grain and don't even know the leaves are edible. Cook them like spinach, in soups, sautéed, in stews. The dual-purpose crop that gives you greens in weeks and grain in months. Number 13. Egyptian walking onion. The onion that plants itself, Allium X proliferum. This is the most botanically fascinating plant on this list. The Egyptian walking onion produces small bulbs, not underground, but at the tips of its stalks. When the bulbs mature, their weight bends the stalk to the ground, where the bulbs root and grow as new plants. It literally walks across your garden. In a large pot, you can keep it as a self-renewing perennial plant. The aerial bulbs and the underground bulbs are both edible. Strong, pungent flavor, perfect for stir-fries. Plant it once, and it reproduces indefinitely. It's the perpetual onion you never need to replant. Number 14. Goji berry. the superfruit that grows as a container shrub. Lycium barbarum. Goji berries don't need a field. They grow perfectly in 5-gallon pots or larger with well-draining soil. Full sun, 6 to 8 hours. Drought-tolerant once established. Annual pruning in late winter to keep it compact. Can produce fruit from the second year onwards. Fresh goji berries are completely different from dried ones. Sweeter, juicier, more complex. Each plant can produce several handfuls of berries during the season. The most expensive superfruit in the supermarket grows as a grateful shrub on your balcony. Number 15. Lemongrass. The tropical herb that transforms your cooking. Cymbopogon citratus. Essential in Thai, Vietnamese, and Indian cuisine. And it grows with astonishing ease in containers. Buy a fresh stalk from the Asian grocery store. Put it in water until it roots, 2 to 3 weeks. Plant it in a large pot with full sun. In a few months, you'll have a cluster of stalks multiplying. Cut what you need for your curries, your soups, your teas. The stalk grows back. It contains citral, a compound with antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties documented in peer-reviewed studies. The herb of tom yum and green curry, multiplying on your balcony for the cost of 1 supermarket stalk. Number 16. Daikon radish. The gentle giant that grows faster than you think. Raphanus sativus var. Longipinatus. Daikon can grow up to 16 inches long. It needs a deep pot, 12 inches minimum. But it grows with surprising speed, 45 to 60 days from seed to harvest. Its flavor is much milder than the Western red radish, slightly sweet, crisp. You eat it raw and grated, pickled, in soups, stir-fried. The leaves are also edible and more nutritious than the radish itself. Rich in vitamin C, folate, and digestive enzymes like diastase. The most versatile vegetable in Asian cuisine that Western cuisine barely knows about. Number 17. Moringa. The miracle tree that grows in a pot. Moringa oleifera. Moringa can grow into a 30-foot tree, but in a pot, it stays as a compact shrub of 3 to 6 feet if you prune it regularly. Every pruning gives you edible leaves with 25 to 30% protein by dry weight, all essential amino acids, vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, iron, and potassium. Large pot, 5 gallons or more. Full sun. Doesn't tolerate frost, so in cold climates, bring it indoors for winter. It grows with extraordinary speed in warm climates. The leaves are used fresh in salads, cooked in stews, or dried and ground as a supplement. The tree that feeds entire communities in Africa and Asia can feed your family from your balcony. Number 18. Amaranth microgreens. The 7-day harvest in a tray. Instead of waiting months for amaranth grain, you can harvest microgreens in 7 to 10 days. Seeds on moist substrate in a shallow tray. 3 days in the dark. Then indirect light. Misting to water. In 1 week, microgreens of intense magenta color with a mild, slightly sweet flavor. Amaranth microgreens are rich in lysine, the essential amino acid that's limiting in most cereals. Visually, they're spectacular, with red stems that transform any dish into a work of art. The fastest and most beautiful harvest on your balcony. Number 19. Golden berry. The golden cherry wrapped in paper. Physalis peruviana. The golden berry, also called Cape gooseberry or aguamanto, is one of the most expensive fruits in gourmet supermarkets. Each small golden berry comes wrapped in its own translucent paper husk. The flavor is an explosion of tropical and tart, like pineapple mixed with tomato and vanilla. And it grows extraordinarily well in 4 to 5 gallon pots. Full sun. Fertile, well-drained soil. It produces for months without stopping. A single plant can produce hundreds of fruits in one season. Rich in vitamin A, vitamin C, antioxidants, and fatty acids. A single jar of dried golden berries costs up to $15 in gourmet stores. You can produce pounds of them on your balcony. Number 20. Kalanchoe, the medicinal plant that reproduces itself. Kalanchoe piñata. Kalanchoe, also known as the air plant or the plant of life, has an astonishing reproductive ability. Every leaf that falls to the ground produces plantlets along its edges. It literally multiplies on its own. In traditional Latin American medicine, it's used as an anti-inflammatory and to relieve respiratory issues. Preliminary studies published on NIH have investigated the bioactive compounds of kalanchoe, including flavonoids and bufadienolides. It grows in any pot with partial sun, tolerates drought because it's a succulent, practically indestructible. The plant that gives itself away by multiplying along the edges of every leaf. Pull off a leaf, set it on moist soil, and in weeks you have 10 new plants, 20 crops. From Japanese herbs to omega-3 weeds. From medicinal roots to gourmet fruits. Every single one of them grows on a balcony, in a pot, without a garden, without prior experience. Your balcony has the potential to become a laboratory of flavors, a green pharmacy, and a source of food that no supermarket in your city can offer. Start with 3 from this list. Purslane, which probably already grows as a weed near your home. Turmeric or ginger from a supermarket rhizome. Mizuna or tatsoi from seeds that cost less than a cup of coffee. Small beginnings that transform idle square footage into sources of extraordinary food. Leave a comment and tell me which crop surprised you the most. Was it purslane and its omega-3? The golden berry and its gourmet price tag? The onion that walks by itself? I read every comment, and I genuinely want to know what you're going to plant first. Subscribe to Ancient Harvest if you haven't already, because every week we show you crops, techniques, and knowledge that transform your relationship with food. This is what we do here. Real cultivation, real science, real empowerment. The most productive farm in the world doesn't need a piece of land. It needs a balcony and the decision to start. See you in the next one.